Engineer Jibril, and because of our focus on One Ummah 2024, and is also one of the management of the event. Malam Jibril, you're welcome.
Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I hope you are ready for One Ummah this year.
Inshallah. We are
Okay.
super ready.
Okay, let's start this way. Many people wants to understand what do we mean by One Ummah. I am sure a lot of people knows the organization very well, but briefly, can you just tell in that like 30 seconds?
Okay. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Um, I think many of us are generally interested in the strength of the Ummah. And a lot of time we have discussed it that the strength of the Ummah lies in the unity, in the working together and everything. So One Ummah is largely an effort by brothers, young brothers and sisters, and everybody to create an organization, a platform that attempts to set the template for unity. You know, we are hoping that some of these templates that we set will be things, I think, 14, after the World War One, that would be like maybe 1920. I think World War One ended, and then just around the last Ottoman Empire thing. So the foundation of One Ummah was when four organizations, iMedia, Light of the Ummah, Muslimah Global Foundation, which is a women organization,
Okay.
and then Women in Dawa is also a women organization. All of them, initially, well, I run iMedia. So initially, we were doing things like four of us come together to run activities together. After a while, we were just like, look, we are all serving the same Ummah. We are all out there to provide service and value to the Ummah. So we are one Ummah. So it's stuck because that's something we all aspire for, you know, a united Ummah. So that's where the name comes from, and that's where the foundation comes from. And then since then, we've been looking at how do we actually form a template that the Ummah can be using to integrate more and more people. So one of the first things, if you look at the history of One Ummah or the activities of One Ummah, you will notice that a lot of what we have done so far have been things that, foreign lecturers kind of thing.
Yes.
So the idea of foreign lecturers is if we bring a neutral person from outside, there is a good chance that it will be a unifying
Everybody
factor.
will embrace his own
Everybody will
side of
embrace the person,
person.
and then so we have like a common ground. Everybody can just listen to him. You know, he's not a Yoruba man or a Hausa man. You know, it's not a this sect or that sect. He just came to just share the deen with the Ummah. So that's why we initially focused on those kind of things, because they are unifying. They do not divide people. So that's why we call those activities peace and unity
Convention.
conventions, because it's global.
Well, that will bring me to the next insight of what I think we should discuss about. On the 1st of September, uh, the One Ummah brought together professional youth, concentrating on professional and teaming youth. And in a program, that a lot of activities uh, came up during that program, and it started mobilizing the Muslim youth. And what was the initiation for, and what's the objective behind that?
Okay, so the program we had last weekend, Alhamdulillah, I think it was really enjoyable. Personally, I enjoyed it a lot. The
I think
idea
I do
of the
too.
yeah, the idea of the program is um, the ummah, the strength. We even as a nation, not just within the Muslim community alone, even the whole of the Nigerian as a nation has a lot of work to activate the youth component of its population. You know, the youth, we have a large youth population, so it can be a problem or an asset
If you manage it
if you
well.
manage it, how you deal with it. So if you have a lot of people in drugs, a lot of people in all sorts of things, it's a sign that you didn't manage and coordinate them. So the idea, one of the things we want to add to the activities of One Ummah is a deliberate effort at taking advantage and managing the youth. So we call that program mobilizing the youth of the Ummah. And then the other thing you notice with the youth of the Ummah is that usually even at the PUC, we have the adult sessions that are like fully adult sessions. And we have the
Who are members?
teenagers. No, that like the public. The target, a lot of even Islamic organizations, if you check them, the public, the adults will be there. They will have programs sometimes for the primary school and secondary school children. But you see that gap between they are in university, they are fresh out of university.
Between ages 16 to 21.
To like even 25.
Okay. They are missing in
yes. There is minimal activities targeted at them. So, and even as a nation, that's a lot of time. That's where the problem of this country comes from. They are an asset if you use them well. They are a liability if you mismanage them. So that program was an attempt to harvest, to start to activate that youth range, that age range within the Ummah. That's why the program was titled Mobilizing the Youth of the Ummah. And then you see the kind of activities, the debates between the youths. Do they believe they need the government before they can succeed?
And the angle they spoke from, and it was very intelligent.
Nah, alhamdulillah. So, and then the whole pitch to win is also targeted at them. And, you know, just trying to activate the youth.
I listened to the Amir of one Ummah, Malam Abakar Sadiq, when he gave his speech during that occasion. And I think one of the angles that I love most that he spoke about is that he spoke about the efforts behind the youth when you people came together to form the unity. Then he was looking at how will they live, or they need to form another generation to take over from them or to join them to form that alliance so that they can do what they are doing together. And he was particular about it. And he challenged some of the people, that I'm putting that challenge to you now. What are we doing differently in one Ummah after every convention? I know you will say you have started something, this, what do you call it, mobilizing youth. But look at it from that angle. Is it mainly to engineer this teaming youth with vast experience and professionalism to come in line and be part of the engine room?
Well, you see, one Ummah is not a government. So we definitely recognize the fact that you can't like solve the whole problems and everything. So on one hand, we want to inspire as many people as possible to be independent, to feel like taking the initiative by themselves, on one hand. On the other hand, there are a few specific activities. It's just that some of those activities might not go around the whole nation, you know. So, for example, one Ummah has a SEALP program, Scholarship Initiative for the Less Privileged. So that is largely targeted at children that don't have money to go to school. So one Ummah currently has close to 400 to 500 people in primary and secondary school that it's raising fund to ensure that those people go to school. As in, it's a revolving this thing. Some are graduating, new ones are coming in. So overall, they might, I think the initiative has trained probably 1,000 or 1,005 as people come in and go out and everything. So that's a specific program at that end.
Under the charity?
Under the charity arm of the thing. Then we also have a women empowerment program, which was like, look, the women of the Ummah are also very critical. They are quite close to the children. So the stronger women are, the more you can guarantee that your children would be well taken care of, will be, you know, healthy and everything. So there is a women empowerment program. So this youth initiative is targeted at that next demography, which is the post-secondary school, I'm in university, I'm fresh out of university kind of age range. So the specific of that is we have the youth, the speech to win program. So we want anybody that has an idea in his mind that is like, I think I can manufacture X, Y, Z. I think I can do this. I think I can do that. So it's not a business finance thing. It's not like I want to be selling, I want to be buying and selling. No. There's nothing innovative about that. So we are challenging the youth of the Ummah
To be innovative.
to be innovative. So there is a fund we are raising. We've opened a fund. We have probably like 2-3 million in it that we are going to dish out just to encourage people to be innovative. But the more we
Then
get
you
funds,
support the person if the idea is brilliant.
and then thank you. If you now have an idea, because some ideas might not be necessarily practicable in the environment for now, but if it's really innovative, we still want to support it. We still want to thank you for thinking, and you find a way to make it practicable. But if you have something that is now practicable, is innovative, and is practicable, then we can deploy all the network that we have in one Ummah, all the support we can give, because such a child, such a youth will be like a role model, like an ambassador for others. So rather than having just dancing competitions, let's compete in things that develop the nation. Intellectual
yes,
competition.
Yes,
so that's like
the Amir
kind
also
of
said
spark
it.
that we want to have.
The Amir also said it that day, that we are also ambassador of Islam and ambassador of our country, because we decided to use us, be in this position to be better off than being negative about our religion, about our deen, and about our country. I think that really speaks a lot about that. Now, let's move forward. We have INFOCUS 2024 Peace and Unity Convention. Now, what is the theme for this year? How do you come about it? And I know there are foreign scholars that are coming to preach the deen. How do you come about the selection of is it as per their relation to the topic in focus, or as per their availability?
Okay, so your first question is, what's the theme?
Yes, for this year.
The theme for this year is resilience and recovery. The role of faith and conviction. The role of faith and conviction in managing crisis. So what does this mean? The key words are resilience and recovery. The nation is currently in a very difficult time, economically speaking. And when you have a situation that is challenging economically, other things can start suffering from that economic challenge. You start having security issues.
Yes.
You start having marital issues.
Yes.
Some people will just be tired of life, mental issues, mental stress. Some people, their businesses will be in turmoil. The numbers are not just adding up. The cost of transportation, the cost of salary will go up, yet the cost at which you are selling your product is not going up. If you are delivering a service, electricity has gone up, this one has gone up, and you are a barber, you can't increase the cost at which you are barbing one hair. So how will you balance the thing? So it's a difficult time for businesses, for personal, and even spiritually, So that's why we say, how do we be resilient in this kind of situation? And how do we recover from the stress that is going on? So we want to look at it from the role of faith and conviction in managing crisis. So that's the thing.
Okay.
And how we came about it is just, typically at every PUC, we try to check what is the prevailing issue in the society, in the polity, in the society, in the Ummah. There was a year, it was just all about family. That time the tension was around collapsing families, divorce rates, single mothers, unmarried brothers, absent fathers, all sorts of marital challenges. So that year the thing was on marriage and family as a bedrock of the society.
And we were able to do
and we
best.
did that. That was like 3-4 years ago. So this year, the issue is this stress. Even the president is stressed up. Everybody is stressed
with the Lord. Everybody wants
to
attend to them at the same time.
Yes. So we are looking at what is most relevant today, and that's why we are looking at that resilience and recovery. How do we survive in this kind of time? So, and the interesting thing is that many of the scholars we have brought, there are people like, there's Amara Shukr, for example. He's originally a Sudanese person. So he's an African. So he understands a lot of these African nuances.
Okay.
He's not like some other people that are like maybe somebody like Yasser Qadi. He's not an African, you know. I think Yasser Qadi, if I'm not sure, but I think he's either an American or is he even a Saudi? I don't know.
Citizen.
Wallahu
Anyway,
alam.
but he's a Muslim.
Yes.
That's
So we bring them
this.
because one, do they have that communication skill?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to talk to people.
Yes.
Then, if you have the communication skill, do you have the knowledge of the deen, of the society, of the contemporary environment,
And the issue and the focus.
and the issue on ground? So the knowledge is one. The communication skill, the ability to communicate the knowledge is another. Then the availability of the person, definitely.
Yes.
There are, because of the economic situation, there are people we could have brought, but considering their timing, their availability and stuff, we couldn't get them to come. So the availability is also a factor, but critically is their knowledge, their communication and relatability. You want people that will all listen to and we can actually take insights from, that will really feel like, okay, what this person is saying looks like it's practicable. You know, so that's like the reason. Those are some of the criteria.
Okay, because the 1st of September program really touched me a lot, because there were, at a particular time, a question was raised that what are the things you have learned during those who have participated in the program in the past. Majority of them were able to say that some of the lecturers that visited, have changed their life positively. They have improved their Islam, particularly their understanding to how to mingle with government and the rest of them. I think that relates to how and the importance of this scholar coming. The angle I want us to discuss about this is heavily based on financial burden. How do you go about it?
Alhamdulillah, I think that's a very valid question. A lot of people wonder about it and everything. So it's a very valid question. How does one ummah go about the cost, the financial side of this convention? To be honest, I've been at one ummah right from start, and I can tell you, by Allah, there has never been a time that we would have the money. We will have 15%
Of the
of the
total
requirements
budget.
of the convention ahead of time. But a lot of time, especially with Mala Abubakar, is a person that strongly
You mean
believes
the
that
Amir?
the Amir is a person that strongly believes that if you put your mind to it, you can pull it off. So we just believe that there is room for growth in the Ummah. We believe in the Ummah a lot. That if we package something that makes sense, that the Ummah can benefit from, the Ummah will support it. So wallahi, that has always been this thing, that if we up the game and deliver what everybody says, that is what we are talking about, we believe the Ummah will show up and the Ummah will support us. So usually some of the big costs in organizing this kind of thing is something like venue. If you look at this year's event in Lagos, we are using a co-hotel. That place is expensive to hold an event at. But we need to know that it is for the nation, and the Muslims are part of this nation. So the best things are not necessarily haram for the Ummah. So we need to have the confidence in ourselves to say whatever is best in this country should be accessible and be used by the Muslims also. If you look at Abuja, we always do it at International Conference Center.
Yes.
It's quite an expensive place. This year we are using the A-class park. It's a beautiful, we are taking like 3 halls
Has that
and everything.
finally confirmed?
It's confirmed. Okay. It's confirmed. Why we are using the A-class is because of the lack of availability of the International Conference Center. So if it becomes available, we'll gladly go back to it. Because, I mean, you can host 4,000 people in a space, in a hall in ICC. Whereas A-class park, you can take 1,005 here, 800, 1,000 here, you know, just bits and pieces. So now, we now need to dice the whole event into pieces, you know. So with respect to the cost and financing, it has largely been, let's run tickets so that at least we can start the processes of
All these
logistics,
things.
securing basic things, start publicity, start doing a few things. And then we now rely on sponsors and donors.
Bonds.
So those kind of people are now the real backbone of the financing. We have a brother or a person that will just say, okay, I support with X amount. Okay, let me cover your cost of this
Oh,
and
okay, okay.
stuff
Let me
like
be
that.
focused now. Can we talk more about what is this year budget look like?
It's evolving. We deal with costs as they unfold.
Okay.
So I might not necessarily, and then largely from my position, I might not necessarily be able to start discussing like the specific budget, the flight tickets. We need to fly in all
All
these
this.
people. There are a lot
We
of
need to
bits
take
and
care of
pieces.
them.
We need to take care of them, their hotel. So if we get somebody, some things are being sponsored. Some things are being donated. So it's not a fixed number. We deal with things as they unfold.
Now, specifically, being an insider and one of the management, what are the things you think you can speak to the next person that's listening to you now that he wants to be? Because I overheard Malam, the acting Amir, saying that we still need a lot of people to come into this.
Yeah.
And Sister Aisha, I also listened to her, and she mentioned that these things are expensive,
Yeah.
and then we need people to come in, particularly those who are going to volunteer too. They need to be taken care of, and the malams. So specific, just speaks to the one that you know that any brother that is thinking now is watching this live may be thinking that I can invest in this with these brothers. These are fantastic ideas. Just as you said, they are convinced already. This is a package program, but can you speak to some specification of the needs that people should invest on?
Okay, so there are bulk items like we need to fly quite a number of scholars in.
How
So
many
if
of them this year?
I think we have like the foreign ones are probably like seven. Sheikh Mohammed Salah, Mufti Menk,
Mufti
Dr.
Menk
Yasir
is like
Kodi,
regular.
Ammar Shukri, Sheikh Basyuni. That's six. No, so that's
Fine.
five. The Ustaza Taimia, that's six. Then who am I missing? So that's like six. I think I'm probably missing one person.
Al Huda.
And then Sheikh Mohammed Salah. So that's seven.
Okay.
So at
Then
least those seven are like confirmed they will be
our
coming in.
our
And
international
then
scholar from Nigeria.
our own national international scholars.
From
We
Nigeria.
have Dr. Isa Ali Pantami. He has been a supporter of this kind of conversation right from start. We have Sheikh Nuruddin Lemu.
Okay.
We have great people like Dr. Ni Yusuf, the national Amir of NASFAT.
Okay.
Those three that I'm sure of.
Bro,
And
Fatah
then
Adeyemi.
Dr. Abdul Fattah Adeyemi also. So these are four that I know of the brothers that are confirmed. There are also sisters, Dr. Hawa Bello. So these are some of the ones I know for now that are confirmed, but we are unveiling
basically
and having interaction with
the
more
international,
people.
the foreign.
So the flights and the cost of taking care of our guests
still need
is
sponsor.
one thing that we will need sponsorship with. And then we definitely have the halls, the venues. These are things that if you can get somebody to help us take the burden of the cost of the venue, that would be a big burden that has been, lifted. Then I think another bulk thing, there are various like feeding
Yes.
the people at the event, even the volunteers, running the logistics of the volunteers and everything. That would be another thing that could help a lot. Then the multimedia, the services at the event, the screens, the sounds, the whole tech, the tech
specialists.
side of the event is another thing that we would really appreciate a lot of support.
Do you know that one of the things that stand out one Ummah convention yearly is the package at which the place where the event is taken, they package the screen, the everything, because it is internationally rated to be one of the best you can see from where the Muslims are actually preaching and talking to people. The qualitative packaging, the media, multimedia people that are there, and the rest of them. Is there anything you are introducing newly this year?
You see, a number of things are naturally going to be new this year because of the new location that we're using. So we
Okay.
are running three hall, like five different halls simultaneously: the teenage hall, the crèche, the preteen, then the three adult halls. So digitally linking all these halls together is going to be new, you know. And then with respect to the tech side of things, we are hoping to have a very interactive virtual session where those online can actually participate, they can ask questions, they can even contribute live on the screens and everything. So we are hoping this year's live session will not just be like live streaming to YouTube. It will largely be like, okay, you can interact from the internet so that it can truly be a global event. And then those that are not able to be there physically from other states, Ilorin, Kwara states, Gombe State, Port Harcourt, River State, and the rest can join and actually participate. So that's part of the things that we are looking at this year that will be, different, But the real, in terms of the programming and the content, what's one thing that is actually different this year is that we'll be having three halls running simultaneously. So in one hall, we call it the Yakin Hall. In that hall, things around the spirituality of the crisis will be going on, conversations around that, and just general stuffs in the Yakin Hall, one of the halls. In another hall, we have the business and career workshops and
Okay.
conversations. So all these scholars will still bring their skill and their knowledge to the career conversation also.
To motivate
To
the youth.
motivate, to guide. There are professional businessmen like Abdul Rashid Uthman is a business consultant that is actually quite an expensive person to have one-on-one conversation with. He will be there. He will be one of the coaches or one of the facilitators for
That
that hall,
that sections.
for that session and everything. And then we have the wellness hall, which is where issues of relationships, issues of mental health, issues of emotional intelligence will be discussed. So these three halls will be running simultaneously. So you get to choose
Which one are you
where you
attending?
want to be.
So this is creating the awareness now to the general public that these are the way something is going to go this year, and then general public should take note, and you should be able to understand at every day. I think it's 4 days program. I guess
No, it's a 3 days program.
it's a 3-day program.
That's Friday. We'll have a dinner on Friday.
Okay, as usual.
Then we'll now have Saturday and Sunday
For
in
the-
Abuja.
Okay.
Then in Lagos, we'll have only Saturday.
So okay, simultaneously as it's going on in Abuja here, it's also taking up
Precisely
in Lagos.
in Lagos. Yes.
And not like last year where it was different.
Yeah, Lagos was the weekend before Abuja was.
So, but now it will be going simultaneously, and there will be connectivities, I guess.
Like they will not be like linked. The two sessions will be available virtually.
Okay.
But it's not like we'll be streaming Lagos into Abuja and Abuja into Lagos. They are running separately, but
so
they'll all be available.
Brothers
digitally.
and sisters, you should be able to understand that. That is very important for us to know that these are the things, not only just come to develop yourself spiritually, business-wise, family-wise, you can also learn a lot of things from this section. Now, there's one angle I think is very important for us to discuss about. Usually, we see, I want to understand, what does Nigeria stand, as a country stand, as a whole, stand to benefit from this? Individually, we can be spiritually uplifted. For those who are interested in business, you can get a link at which your business can get boom. For those who are having family crisis, you can get, what is the country at large going to gain from this? Because I usually note that sometimes we have the management and some of these scholars visiting the president. Sometimes last year I saw Mufti Mek and other scholars I mean, last dispensation, I guess. They visited President Muhammad Buhari. What, as a Nigeria, what is Nigeria stand to benefit in all of this?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. Anyway, now I think what is a country? Nigeria is the people of Nigeria,
Okay.
is the land and the people.
Mhm.
So as long as you keep investing in building the people, then you keep growing the nation. So the more you have people that fear Allah in the country, the more, because leaders, students, fathers, mothers are all there. So the more these individuals are more upright, the more they are more educated, the more they run businesses that thrive, the more the GDP of the country grows.
Mm.
And then the more you have these kind of people serving as ambassadors, the more they will be able to go back to their own communities and try to impact people. So I see that the one Ummah is more focused on the people. How do we build Nigerians that are upright, Nigerians that are nation builders, Nigerians that can, be ambassadors and role models for others? So Islam, is a religion of very high moral standards, and the moral standards and the conservativeness of Islam does not make the Islam to be backward. So historically, Islam has been in the forefront of technological
And
advancements
civilization.
and arts works, architectural works, and the rest. So we want to be able to create an atmosphere where the Muslims can really showcase the Islamic values, especially as it creates people that are better and societies that are better. So if you ask what will Nigeria stand to benefit, I think is much, because uh, Muslims are up to at least conservatively half of the population of this country.
Oh,
So
okay.
the more we can impact that population, the more, and then it's also open to non-Muslims. That's another thing. So we have budgets.
Non-Muslim can also participate.
Exactly. We have reservation. We are always happy. For non-Muslims, it's even free.
Free.
It's free for non-Muslims, because the whole thing is about the peace and unity and development of this nation. So the more we can have cross-cultural, cross-religious conversation, the better for the nation.
Okay. Yeah, before we move to the challenges, I just as you rightly stated, I think the Amir said something during his speech last time. He said one of the scholars, I couldn't remember the name, that when he was coming to Nigeria, I think the last Unity Convention, Peace and Unity Convention, the members went to say, "Oh, you are going to Nigeria." Oh, they went to embrace him and said, "We may not see you again. We may not see you again here. As a Muslim, anything can happen to anybody." But because of the negativities that used to come, people will think Nigeria, once you go to Nigeria, it's like you are going to hellfire. But the brother got to Nigeria. He didn't have opportunities of coming to Abuja. It was only in Lagos. And he saw amazing brothers. He saw good people, the way they attended to him, and it changed his morale. That served him, and to start saying that these are qualitative people from Nigeria. At least that relates to what Nigeria benefits, what the Ummah benefits. We are all relating now back to some time ago. I was in Saudi Arabia, and I was speaking with some people, and they said, "You're from where?" I said, "Nigeria." And you know what I said? They said, "Do you know JJ Okocha?" I was like, I was like, JJ Okocha? Did I know JJ Okocha? Kanu Wako? These are basic Islamic country. But look at the people they are asking, because these are the ambassadors they saw striving for their country. I think this also, and so I want us to quickly address that it also speaks to us as a country, as a benefit, to change the moral perspective of people against our country to the best. Now, this fantastic idea, before we go, I think we have less than 5 minutes to run this program. Before we go, there's this kind of big program cannot be without challenges. What are the thinkable challenge that we're still struggling to do? Maybe if you relate it now, maybe somebody somewhere can provide solution.
Okay, I think there are quite a number of challenges here naturally. Um, Definitely, one of the things that hinders our work is the venue. So at all times we go to even get started, we need the issues of securing a venue, getting a venue. So we have always envisioned and prayed to Allah to give us a center that is big enough so we can hold it multiple times a year, and then it even becomes cheaper to host, you know. So definitely, I think securing and building an Islamic center that can have that kind of capacity, not just a hall. Like there are masajids, there are mosques that have a big hall, but one, chairs, sound system, all the tech that you need to bring in. Then for these things, during Salat, you can't use chairs during Salat. So even if you bring in chairs, by Salat time, you need to take out the chairs. And then by Maghrib, by Zor, you need to take out the chairs. By Asri, so you can't use the hall of a mosque to do it. And you don't want to do it outside. It's not befitting. We really want to set that standard. I think globally now, you will see some of these things in Dubai, in Mecca, where you see Muslims, putting forward very good examples of Islam and Muslims. So we really want to provide the example of being the best within the Nigerian context. So I think having a center of our own, or at least of the Ummah, will be fantastic. And then we also want to look at the networking with scholars, networking with the Ummah. So if you have relationships and resource persons that we believe will bring help to the Ummah, would appreciate it. And then, critically, we need to understand that the PUC is an event. It's more of a platform. From that platform, we now raise money to help the needy. We raise money to help the women. We have this youth fund. So donating to any of these interventions is one of the objectives of bringing everybody together. So it's more of a platform to do other things. We are not just doing it for the sake of, not just for the sake of the conversations.
Conversation alone.
Yes.
It's also
is a means to now start specific interventions. So like the youth intervention we have, like the children and less privileged, like the women intervention. So if anybody really wants to execute an intervention for the Ummah, for the sake of Allah, we look forward to those partnerships at intervening and solving problems of the Ummah.
Okay.
Such that we can look back and say, no, we did this, we did this, we did this, we did this, in partnership with those that are interested in it.
Okay, I know that the ticketing is available now. Can you talk about, I know the early bird, or so can you speak about that now?
Okay. Now, alhamdulillah, it's an interesting thing. For Lagos, it is simple and straightforward. We just have 2 tickets. It's a one-day event in Lagos at Eco Hotel. So if you are in Lagos and you are planning to attend the Lagos event, go to the website www.oneummahng.org, and you'll be able to just click learn now, go to Lagos, pick your tickets. We have the regular tickets and the premium tickets. And the difference is simple. Regular tickets, first come, first serve kind of thing. Premium tickets, you get to lock your seat down like an aircraft where you can pick your seat. So for premium tickets, you have reserved seats in front, and that's the benefit to the premium ticket. So the regular ticket is 10,000 naira. The premium ticket, I think, is 15,000 naira or so. So, or 20. I can't, wallahu alam. But it's on the website. For the Abuja is the one that is a bit more complex because of the venue that we're using. So it's not easy to just put everybody into one hall. Now we have like 3 different halls. So that's why it's broken down. So we have the regular tickets for the Abuja, which is going for 8,000 naira. But if you buy now, within the month of September, you can pick it up for 6,500 naira per day. So that will make 13,000 naira for the 2 days.
Okay.
If you then we now have, so that ticket enables you to pick the, I said we have the Yekin Hall, which is like
Yes.
the spiritual and the general lectures.
Okay.
We have the business and career hall, and we have the mental health and wellness hall. So you can go to when you are buying the tickets, you can actually pick where you want to be in the morning
For Abuja.
For Abuja, on day one, I want to be in the wellness mental health hall. In the afternoon of day one, I want to be in the general lectures hall. On Sunday, I want to be in the business hall in the morning, and in the afternoon, I want to be in the mental health hall. And what will be happening in the lectures in each of those halls are also on the website, so you can get to see where you want to be. So with the regular tickets, 8,000 naira, early bird 6,500, if you buy it in September, you'll be able to pick where you want to be. But where you pick is where you have to stay. On the day of the event, you can't be in a hall and then just leave that. I want to go to the other.
No, this guy is my favorite person.
No. You will not be able to change on the day of the event. Because of the space and the size of the hall, we need to know who is here, who is here for planning purpose. It's important to be. But we now reserve some tickets. We call it the bumper tickets. With the bumper tickets, you will be free. You don't have to choose a hall now. On the day of the event, you can be here in the morning. In the afternoon, you can decide that you want to be in the other hall. In the evening, in the following day, you can be in this hall for an hour, maybe one or two of the lectures, and be like, no, let me just go to this so-so hall. You can move around. So your band and your ticket will enable you to switch halls. Whereas for the regular tickets, you will not be able to switch halls on that day, but you can pick now. So that's the difference between the regular tickets and the bumper tickets. We now have the premium ticket. With the premium ticket, you'll definitely be able to switch any hall you want to sit. You have reserved seating in the front rows. And then you'll be served some snacks in the hall. And then you have access to the VIP lounge.
Okay.
Where you can have your solar, you can have your ablution in that place, and then you can decide, like, maybe some ladies might not want to pray outside, they can pray in the VIP lounge. You have a dedicated car park. There is a car park in the hall that will be reserved for the premium tickets. Okay. So these are the three categories of tickets. Okay. And then the family is also welcome. There'll be a teenage session. That's definitely all my children that are of teenage level will definitely be there. The scholars will be there with them, having games, having interactive sessions with them.
Wow.
So I think, yes, the teenage session is always very interesting. And then we have the preteen, which is like the primary school part of it, which will also, but it's a bit more playful.
So when will those, I usually understand that those children that are under the scholarship of one woman usually participate. When would they come in?
Yeah, they will come in at various interludes, like on day one, at break times, so that it's not just lecture back to back. Okay. So the program of events allots time for them. And then also on the second day, we have the pitch to win program. So the winners of the pitch to win the innovation competition will also be announced at interludes, so that the leg is not just like all lectures and
okay. At what stage that will anybody be able to have some meeting the scholars? Some of them will come purposely when they want to meet the scholar and take some pictures with them. Would there be any availability of that?
I think maybe the premium ticket, because we need some level of crowd control.
Yes.
And then we also are super conscious of the issue of free mixing. So you really need to manage the crowd. If we say, okay, participants and the scholars, if you don't manage it, like 2 years ago, Mufti Menk actually had an elbow or something on his face or something. He had a jab in Lagos in the midst of, people spacing and one thing. He actually hurt somebody accidentally, we assume he's accidentally hurt him. And then the really I think it was unpleasant for Dr. Umar Sheikh Umar Suleiman last year. We actually had a sister hugging him. So in the midst of trying to be free, because he didn't really, it was not. I mean, you
Funny.
want to be. It was not funny to have in public, and then you have, you just have a lady, a grown-up lady, not like a primary school.
She was overexcited.
I mean, you don't do that.
Okay,
That is why we have controlled environments.
Okay, for
those, like especially the people on premium tickets, they will have a control. They can go into the scholars' lounge and probably have some chit chat with them, and then at the dinner the dinner will not be talking to like 4,000 people, so there's a chance that you'll be able to meet and have interaction with the scholars better at the dinner.
Okay, viewers, I think we've been able to speak to so many of the decisions we need to talk about, and I think we've learned a lot. We are not going to stop here. You too, you can be part of this discussion. You can share this program. You can also pick some of the things we have spoken about here and talk about it. Let's start making the campaign. This about One Ummah, a unity convention for 2024. Some of the major things that we need to know has been spoken about, and I think more are still coming. Insight will bring you more of so many things. It's not only about One Ummah, but One Ummah could always will be in our focus. So, Madam Jibril, I want to thank you so much for this great opportunity. One more last one thing I wanted to address. Speak to our listener, our viewers. Just encourage them in 30 seconds to be part of this, to bring their resources to come and invest in One Ummah.
So, Alhamdulillah, I really think working for the Ummah and working for the nation is a collective responsibility. If you're a lover of working for the nation, I want to invite you to join us on this journey, support us, be part of the movement, be part of the effort to build a nation that works for all of us. That is our collective responsibility. Some of us are only just taking the front row in the work, but we are here to do the work together. So I want to invite everyone to be at the convention. I want to invite you to support us, donate to us. We would really appreciate that. It will make the events, it will make it easier to plan this kind of events and deliver them at the right quality. So it's something, bismillah, we know we might not be able to pay you enough, but definitely with Allah is your reward that would definitely not be lost. Thank you.
All right, that's much we can take on this edition. Join us next time. My name is Okikiola Kosim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.